kick the users out of the database, take downtime, and then install the upgrade, test it out, and then have the end users come back in. This capability, edition-based redefinition, allows you to install version 2 of your application while everybody's running version 1. So you can actually have 2 versions of your code existing in the database at the same time without blocking each other while you're trying to do the create or replace, and without version 1 seeing any of the changes you've made to version 2 yet. So you can put in all 10 changes that you have to make and then release this new version with one command. So this will allow the DBA to actually upgrade an application while everybody's running the old one, removing downtime. I think the easiest way to understand, get a feeling for what this is to see a quick demonstration. I'm going to create a demonstration account to work with. This is going to be the account that holds our application. So right now it just has create session, create procedure. This is the beginning of the new feature. I'm going to issue a create addition command. When you see addition, you can think in your head version. I'm creating a new version in my database of my application. This version, I'm going to call version 2. And it's going to start as a child of my existing addition. Or a $base is just the default name of the addition that comes with 11G Release 2. Everybody has or a $base to begin with. When I install my application, it's going to go into or a $base by default in the very beginning. I'm going to want to create a new version of it. So I've created version 2 as a child of or a $base. That just creates a new version that inherits all of the code from the old version. So right now I have 2 versions in my database, but they're identical. In my original version, or a $base, I'm going to install my application. Here's part of my application. It's just a stored procedure that says, I have a bug. We're going to fix this stored procedure, and we want to do it online. In my application, I have another stored procedure that calls the first procedure, as you would have some complex relationships between the various stored procedures and whatnot. So my application right now consists of these 2 stored procedures. If you just run it, it does what you expect. I'm the buggy version 1. The developers have found the bug, and they fixed the bug. They'd like to install version 2. They try to use version 2, but they discover right now, I can't see version 2. This is just a privilege problem. What the DBA would have to do is alter the application account to enable versioning. So this allows the demo account to create multiple versions of its code in a single schema. Once they have permission to do that, we give them permission to use version 2. So not only can you create versions of your code, but you can create it in or a $base. Everybody has access to that. And you can create it in version 2. I'm also going to grant use on this version 2 to another schema, Scott. Scott is my quality assurance person. They're my tester. They don't own the application, but they want to be able to test it. In order to test it, you're going to have to be able to see version 2 before it's released to the public. So I grant them the ability to see it as well. I connect as the demo user. I can now switch to version 2. That command does not fail. If I look in the user objects, I can see my stored procedures are installed. And in fact, right now, the stored procedure is coming from, inherited from, or a $base. So even though I'm in version 2, I'm using the code from the old version. I can now do my create or replace. And even if someone else was running this create or replace would work. Because it didn't overwrite the existing code, it put it in the schema at the same time as the old code is there. If I look at user objects, I only see my 2 procedures. I can see one is coming from version 2 now, and the other one is still coming from or $base. But if I look at this new view that ends in AE for all additions, I can see there's actually 3 stored procedures now. My procedure exists twice in one schema. I can have 2 procedures with the same name in a single schema. That's the magic behind this. They're in different editions, but they exist simultaneously. I can make changes to this procedure in version 2 without affecting anyone who's running the procedure in or a $base. In fact, I can do other things, like I can grant on my procedure 2 to the Scott account. Any DBA who's tried to issue a grant in a running production system knows it does not work. Because you can't grant on an object that someone is using. If I'm running a query on a table, grants aren't going to work. If I'm running a stored procedure, I'm not going to be able to change the grants on that stored procedure. Here, no matter what else is happening in or $base, I can do this grant on the stored procedure. Now, I actually have 4 procedures in my schema. Because what we did when we did the grant was we made a physical copy of it in version 2 so that we could safely grant on it without causing any issues in or $base. I'm in version 2 making these changes. Version 2 code exists. If someone just logs in, by default they'll be connected to their baseline version. They see version 1. If somebody changes their session to see version 2, they see version 2 code. This is the magic here. This allows us to have these 2 versions in the database simultaneously, and you don't have to change your application. Because notice, when I run this procedure, I'm not putting a version name on here. This is all done through your session. So you don't have to put the version name in your stored procedures in order to have this happen. You just make a database setting change. If I wanted everyone to start using version 2, I would issue an alter database command right now. And I'd set the default addition to version 2, and everyone would start seeing all of the new code right now. My test person, Scott, would like to log in and make sure that everything is correct. They log in, and in the baseline version, they don't have the ability to run that procedure. We never granted it to them in or $base. However, if they use version 2, in that version, they have access to it. So this just shows we can do things like stored procedures, views, synonyms, grants, any sort of metadata object like that. We can now version inside the database. And this allows us to have 2, 3, 4, as many versions of our application as you like existing in the database at the same time. This is a really big feature, meaning I've told you about this much of it. There's this much more that goes with this. I've been writing about this in Oracle Magazine in my AskTom column, and it's actually taking me 3 issues to cover it from start to finish. So normally, I just write